Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's great to have you here. Shows you how nerdy I'm getting. I'm really enjoying this panel. And and this is a great topic because there's issues and evolution and processes. Just a brief comment to Mr. Nave, though. I understand his statement on vagueness and flexibility, but really, on the Republican side here, we've been burnt too much by vagueness of law, and there is really a desire by many of us to be more specific, because in other agencies we feel that they've kind of overstepped that, and then it gets into litigation. You have all these problems. I want to kind of talk about two kind of regional problems, and so maybe so let's start with the RTOs and quote unquote price takers. So in an RTO, they generators can bid. We have a whole bunch that would bid zero to make sure that they can keep their plants running. But the question is, if the market has too many price takers bidding at zero, does that mean it is no longer a competitive market? Anyone want to try that out?
Well, I don't know.
Pull a little bit closer.
I'm sorry. It's certainly not a functioning market that's going to bring suppliers in, because there's only so long you can bid at zero.
Let me go where Illinois used to be a net exporter of power.
Yeah.
And now with this change, Illinois may be transforming through decommissioning for a lot of reasons. One of it might be this market that's not functioning normally because of the price takers. So that may be added on to some generators who now aren't getting a market signal for price, already feeling the pressure from other regulatory pressures, and will in essence walk away from the market.
Well, I think the fundamental problem, as I understand it, it really kind of goes to nuclear plants. Is that really what you're talking about?
No, because I don't think they're not the price takers. They're not bid. They can't, because their operating costs are too high. I guess the question: who is a price taker? Who's a price taker in these markets?
Let me begin with your first question. If you have significant numbers of price takers that are bidding zero, for example, can you have a functioning market? And I think the answer depends on why people are bidding zero. So, for example, if you're a nuclear plants can't be turned off and turned right back on 5 hours later. They have to run continuously. So they can't bid a price such that at some point, if they bid a higher price and then the market sets a lower price, they'll be told to shut down. They can't afford that. So they bid a very low price. So regardless of the market price, they're still taken by the RTO because they can't turn back on again the next day.
Right.
So they hope to make enough money in the daytime.
This out, so I do appreciate. We're seeing that right now, and it's forcing decommissioning early of, well, I don't know about early, but plants along with the other stress. Let me address another kind of a distortion of the market that we see right now. So you have states who enact PURPA laws, so then you have granted transmission siting, which will go from, and my colleague Mr. Pompeo's not here, from Kansas through the state of Illinois, through a couple states, just to reach PJM, because some of these states are making state regulatory decisions on the state portfolio, but there's really no benefit. That's not feeding into MISO. They're designed to feed into PJM and access the state requirements. That's kind of a distortion of the market too, wouldn't you say? Anybody can jump in. I mean, I don't.
Well, can I finish just one comment on the prior question, then I'll be happy to respond to that.
Yeah.
And that is, if you are bidding as a price taker at very low prices because of a particular government subsidy that you have, then that subsidy makes it profitable to bid at a low price, like a price below zero.
What kind of subsidy are you referring to?
Well, like a production tax credit,
okay,
for example.
Then we all know what that is, right?
That does affect the functioning of the marketplace. So it kind of depends on why they're bidding. With respect to your second question, I'm not sure I quite understood the context. People are
Well, I'm just saying
building-
you've got multi-state transmission grids built solely to affect the purple market in PJM.
Yeah.
Crossing state lines that have no really, in essence, are designed to feed the PJM market, not to feed the MISO market.
Sir, I think that that is a legitimate policy issue. I'm not sure that I would agree that it's a function of the design of the marketplace. I think it's a result of the fact that the transmission entities have an opportunity, the suppliers have an opportunity to build, but these lines are not built yet. They're seeking to.
No, they're being built. Two cost state amount.
This point, I don't think we know how the market works, but I completely agree with you. The result of the divisions of the regions is that we don't have a consistent policy for reconciling the interests of one region to another. I think that's a very legitimate issue.
Oh, thank you. Gentlemen,